So, a new big budget movie, part of a franchise I follow, is out. So it's time for me to commit a ritual sacrifice to appease the great YouTube god algorithm. In other words, I'm putting out another episode of the Satanistic show, Joester Reviews. This episode is on Detective Pikachu. This is easily the best video game adaptation I've seen, but that's not saying it's perfect. There were a couple of plot contrivances and minor story problems, and one big forget that's the take I'm using. And one big directorial problem that dragged it down a lot. And quick warning, if you care about spoilers, then click off now because, yeah, there's gonna be spoilers. First, let's talk about the negatives. The pacing was all over the place. The whole bit from when Tim goes to Rhyme City to after the first Pikachu encounter was incredibly fast-paced, and there are moments where the plot comes to a screeching halt. The relationship between Tim and the girl whose name I forgot was alright, except for the really forced love connection. It was so obviously brought about by corporate interference. While some of the twists were pretty well handled, there was way too many of them. I was like, enough with the twist. It takes me a while to wrap my head around one twist, and they were firing them a mile a minute. And some of them were delivered kind of awkwardly, like the one at the end about how Pikachu was Tim's father. Also, how did the laws of Pokémon and human body sharing work exactly? But I'm not gonna get bogged down by that. Anyway, also, why did it take Tim a really short amount of time to change his mind about whether his father died? That's kind of weird. People don't work that way. Also, shouldn't Tim remember his father's voice? Also, there are a couple of problems I have with this movie just because I'm a massive Pokemon nerd. For example, Charizard is way too small in scale with the other Pokemon, and I don't like how strange Psyduck looks. Like, that feathery texture on him just made him look really weird. And if you're not familiar with Pokemon, some story elements wouldn't make sense to you. Like if you don't know what a Mewtwo is, or what the powers of a Ditto are, you probably wouldn't understand that moment in the final battle. And for my last negative, the second half of the movie was basically two action scenes tied together by a cliche forced character disagree and separate scene. Those really bug me. For the first positive, the CG/effects were absolutely amazing. The Pokemon look just like how I imagined the movie version of these characters to look, except for Psyduck and Charizard, but I already covered that. This movie had fan service, but as I mentioned in my Endgame review, I'm a fan of this service, so I don't really care. Another thing the movie did well was world building. Apart from one dumb monologue, the movie was really good at showing you things rather than telling. I'm a big fan of detective stories, and this movie nailed it in that department. If you like detective/mystery stories, you'll really like the middle part of this movie. Then leave after they infiltrate the lab, because at that point it turns into miniature Pacific Rim. Well, regular Pacific Rim in one scene. Frick, I was talking about positives. The middle third of the movie was almost perfect, because those were when all the detective scenes were going on. And easily the best part of the movie was the dynamic between Tim and Pikachu. They just played so well off of each other. Ryan Reynolds brought so much charisma to the character of Pikachu. It's hard to imagine anyone else playing him. All in all, Detective Pikachu was a good mystery movie that was a really fun romp, but poorly paced with a couple of minor story problems. Let's cut to the end segment. For today's end segment, I have an announcement to make. Maybe you can tell what it is, maybe from the massive text that's on screen now. Yes, I am doing a Q&A. I want to leave. Ugh. Forget this is the take I'm using. I've done this 3 times already. I want you guys to leave your questions in the comments of this video or any of my other videos with the word Q&A in your comment. Also, you can ask generic questions like, what's your editing software? Or what's your favorite superhero? But I'm just going to answer those in a lightning round at the end. I encourage you guys to ask things that you would ask your new friend after you're both drunk as heck. And if you want to ask a question, but you're worrying that it might be taking a bit too far, ask it. It's more fun that way. But I won't be answering any religious or political questions because I don't want to offend people. Because people on the internet get angry over everything. If you were on the internet for more than a week, then you would know this. So, this is an end screen with my dumb voice over it. If you would like to, please click one of these various links that are on screen now. One of them is to the Joester Reviews playlist. Another one is a miscellaneous video by me. And another one is a link that when you click it, it helps you subscribe to my channel. Actually, is that even what it does? I'm not even sure if that's what it does. It might just, take you to the channel. Well, if that is the case, then I probably look like a massive idiot right now, but hey, that's nothing new for me, am I right? Alright, so I really do hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace out, and bye.